Hey guys, so I have another prophetic word. So literally I was just laying in bed and it's Sunday, and so it's just me and God's lazy day. But God started so it was like a certain part of the Poker Face song by Lady Gaga. And I'm just like, the only way like I really know that song is like if you've ever seen like Percy Jackson, and it's like the lotus flower scene. And so then like I just like quickly like type it into YouTube, and then like off the bat I already know, because me and God already like all day have been talking about like, I posted a couple things on Facebook, and he's been talking to me about this separation and like the things just going on in society. And so if you like look at like that scene, it's literally called like Percy Jackson Lotus or Lotus flower scene. Anyway, it's like the three of them, they're in like the little like kind of club, and so then they get these like lotus flowers, and the lotus flowers basically they kind of like make you just stay there. And so they were there for like a couple days, and then finally, like, Percy gets offered another flower. And then, if you don't know the movie, but basically, like, his father is just like, don't eat it. It makes you stay makes you stay there longer. And then the rest of his friends, though, the girl and the other guy, they keep eating them. And then so he just basically is like, okay, like, he puts it down. And then the rest of them, like, like the people managing the club start to realize that, like, oh, he's waking up from the trance. And so, it's weird because God has like shown me this one before, but it's been like a long time. But anyway, so this is just like basically another reminder that a lot of people who do not hear from God, or are not a child of God, are not following Christ, they are basically in a trance. And I talk about this a lot on my Facebook. Like, we need to open our eyes, take off the blinds. And sorry about, like, I don't really know where to look, because like it looks like I'm looking in the corner of this camera, and it's just like, do I look there or do I look here? But I don't know. Anyway, but so a lot of people are blinded. They are in a trance. They do not know the truths of this world. They think thank you, Holy Spirit, people believe and will think that what is evil is good and what is good is evil. And people are confused. And that's why people think that, like even with the Charlie Kirk thing, I've heard so many people say, oh, like, I believed in everything that he said, and he was a good guy. And then they're also saying, but the main thing that people aren't agreeing with him on is the abortion, the immigration, the ICE, and the, what was it? It was like the abortion, the immigration, and it was like something else. It was, and the transgender and the LGBTQ community. All of those things are biblical, that we're not supposed to be doing, and that is demonic influence. And people have their blinds on, one, because they don't seek God in fullness to actually know the truth, and the other thing is that they have their own interpretation of who God is. But people are going to be in blinds, and we're going to figure out who are the wolves in sheep's clothing. We're going to basically figure out everything. And so, but God showed me that, people are in a trance, and it's only the few people who actually seek God earnestly with their heart, and, not faking it and not just seeking God for blessings. But they are awake, and that's why a lot of people are not liked, because there are, and I've mentioned this, maybe I forget what platform it was, but it was a long time ago, and I was basically saying how there are levels to Christianity. There are levels in your walk with Christ, and that is due to the potter's wheel, that is due to your trials and God bringing you through things, and that you having more gifts and you being more discerning, you knowing more. It's like, there's different, and your obedience, and it's really, there's levels to it. And so a lot of people are being either being stagnant, or some of them, a lot of people are being lukewarm Christians. And then some people are just completely in a trance and they do not know. But even Christians, they can be in a trance about things, and that can be due to churches, that can be due to the people that they surround themselves with, and that could be due to them not really, not them, like, basically, like, if they're not willing to actually, like, lay everything down and to convict themselves and hear God's conviction, and fast and really, like, crucify your flesh. You're gonna stay in a trance. And Christianity is not easy, and lately I've been encountering a lot of people that continue to say that I'm so blessed that God gives me peace, I'm so blessed God gives me like calmness, and I'm just like, that could be a trap. And I'm not saying that all the time if you're at peace, but either one way or another, the enemy wants to attack you. And I think this can only be in discernment, because it could be looked at both ways. There's difference between peace and peace because of knowledge during any type of trial. But as a Christian, we go through different time periods, which I don't know if I'll get into that, but basically, like, we have different seasons. We have, like, seasons where God has us go, go, go. We have rest seasons. We have a lot of trial seasons, and then usually after that comes a breakthrough, and it's just like a rotation, basically. But, yeah, that's pretty much what I got. But if you're not too familiar with the scene, basically go look up, like, Percy Jackson, locust flower, and then even just, like, Percy's father, like, talking to him, like, that's, like, basically God, like, awakening us. But then again, it's also a choice, because he didn't have to put down the flower, because a lot of times God talks to us and not a lot of people answer it. So that's what I got today. So God bless you. Bye.